Hey y'all, today we're going to make Zuppa Toscana, if I'm saying that right, soup. It's one of the soups they make at Olive Garden, and the version I'm making of it, in my opinion, is every bit as good as the Olive Garden's. So, with that said, we'll just get started. And I will put you down in the pot and let you see what's going on. In here, I have sweet Italian sausage, or mild Italian sausage. This is the package. I got it for buy one get one free, which was a real good deal. But it looks like this, and altogether this was 2 pounds, but I cut the back of it and then pull the meat out of the casing and drop it in. And we're going to brown it up with a little crushed red pepper. And if you don't like heat, don't use a lot. We're not huge fans of heat, so I'm not going to put a ton of it in there. I'm going to put about that much. And then if I want any more, I'll just add probably some crushed red pepper, you know, the powder. But I doubt my husband will want any more. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and brown this up and get it crumbled up. And then we'll come back and go to the next step. We're going to go on to the next step now. And I took out the meat that I cooked. And I used, ooh, something popped up on me. I cooked both packets of the meat, and you'll see a little bit stuck to the bottom, but when we add the liquid, it will deglaze the pan and get all that real good flavors off. But now we're going to add, I'm sure you can't see it, there you can, a very large onion cut up in pretty small little sections. And I didn't have to drain that meat. It really didn't have much grease to it. But we're going to saute the onion. And also I am out of the garlic that I always make. So I'm going to be using this Food Line minced garlic. And I'm going to put a good sized spoonful in. About like that. That was probably a tablespoon. So we're going to stir this around a minute and let those onions saute down and get kind of translucent and tender. It won't take but a second. And it's just about ready. And what I'm going to add to this is some bacon bits. If you have cooked bacon that you can crumble up, that would be really good too, but I don't have any, and I didn't think about getting any when I was getting the ingredients. But I do have real crumbled bacon, so I'm going to put a nice amount in there. And that probably altogether is a cup. So I'm going to stir that up. And then to this, I'm going to add, this is 4 cups of chicken broth. you know, I always just add some of this chicken bouillon to water. So that was the 4 cups. And we're going to bring this to a boil. It might take just a minute for this to come to a boil. But you can see in there it looks real rich. And the parts of the sausage that stuck to the bottom are coming up, making it have even more flavor. So I'm just going to go and let this come to a boil, and I'll come back and we'll go on to our next step. So the mixture in our pot is just starting to come to a boil. So I'm going to add these potatoes, and I've cut them fairly thin and square kinda, but I just didn't leave them real big. And these are 3 large potatoes, and I'm gonna put them in, and we're just gonna let this come to a boil and boil until the potatoes are tender. So that should take about 7 or 8 minutes, and then I'll be back. The potatoes have finished cooking and are tender. So now we're going to add about half of this container of half and half. You can use heavy cream or whole milk, anything that you want to use. I just suggest a heavier type of milk like the half and half or the whipping cream. So that's about half. And we'll stir that. And add back our mild Italian sausage that we browned at the beginning. I wish you could smell this because it really smells good. And now what we have left to do is to add the kale. It calls for spinach, but I got kale. I love the taste of kale, and I don't think it's going to change the recipe or that much or hurt it or anything like that. So I'm going to put the kale in, and it'll just simmer until the kale is cooked, and then we'll be ready to eat. And this is my bag of kale, and as you know, it cooks down a whole lot. So I was trying to see, this is 16 ounces, it's a pound. So what, starting out with a big amount, it will cook down. So when this cooks down and has gotten tender, the recipe will be done, and we'll give it a try. So I'll see you back in a minute. So our soup is finished, and it's real thick and hearty. The soup that you get at Olive Garden doesn't have as much meat and potatoes and all in it, but I like mine full of meat and potatoes. So I'll serve you up a bowl. And there are pieces of spinach or kale. Is not as big as mine, but this is still really good soup. So this is what it looks like finished. Of course, you don't have to add as much kale or as much potatoes or meat or whatever your preference is. But that is it. I've made this soup numerous times over the last few years, and it's always delicious. And I put a little bit in my bowl here just so it would cool down and I could taste it without burning my mouth, because this is really hot from cooking. So I'm going to give it a taste. It is fantastic. It is so good. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. I hope you give this recipe a try because it is really good. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.